YouTubers, this is Belinda Reedy, the Witch in Love, and today I'm going to be showing you a very strong binding love jar. And keep in mind that I'm showing you certain techniques, but I don't show everything because I do things afterwards and I do add other things. But these are just basic things that I can actually share with you. My husband here is being an apprentice today, so he's going to be assisting me as well. For privacy purposes, what you're gonna need are the pictures of the people, the two people you want to bind. You're gonna need cinnamon sticks with their names and birthdays written on, one for each person. Okay. You're also going to be, as I go on, after I do this binding with the pictures and the cinnamon sticks, I'm going to show you what else we're going to be using, okay? So I'm going to hand the camera over to my husband as soon as I wrap up the pictures for privacy purposes. But I will be explaining to you what I'm doing. So I'm going to switch the camera over. Excuse the mess. I have a whole bunch of other spells to do, and you're going to be seeing more today. So I'm switching the camera over. I think it's like that. Or maybe not. All right, he's just gonna have to work with it like this. So you can talk to them while I say this real quick. First of all, while Michael is right there, let me just explain to you the love oil I'm gonna be using, which is the one I've already they're over here, Michael. They're on this side. The love oil, which I already explained to you how to make in an earlier video. The Come To Me oil, which I've added a little extra stuff for my purpose only. That's the thing we're going to put first on the person we are binding. So that the dude, we're going to put the oil right on him. And the spices and the herbs that we're going to be putting on him is going to go on his face. Then she's going to go on top of that. All right. And then once I do that and I hide their faces, Michael will throw you back to me. So I'm going to start putting the oil and the certain spices on their face. Here you go, Michael.
So obviously this is something that she's going to be doing for many of the other clients that we have. You know, these clients have been with us to have readings, and then what came from these readings was much more on their journey that they needed to be fulfilled. I kind of put it out to them that there were many relationship problems, there were certain things going on within their family lifestyle, and all the things that, you know, they wished to have again that was kind of, that went their way before and then suddenly just went off, and they lost that. This is what they've asked of us, to fulfill certain things. Obviously we can go into detail of what we're fulfilling for them, but we can't give names and pictures of these people. That would just be going against their wish. But you know, they know that we're actually talking about what she is doing on the video. It is a privilege to be here to learn my wife's way of the craft, just as much as she's there to listen and learn from my side, but we combine that together. But less about ourselves and more about those people. She is writing the names on the photos right now.
So I'm basically, don't face it here yet, but on his picture I have written her name 6 times to dominate on that, and I put her birthday on his face too.
Yeah.
And then I put the word dominate on top of his face. Now on her face, I'm gonna write his name 3 times, and I'm gonna put her as the dominant partner. Okay.
So obviously she's busy with many other people. Actually, we have a string of clients that have, we're working in similar ways but different circumstances. Those circumstances are heartbreaking. You know, we've given the encouragement, we've given the spiritual support. I've done my part. They come to me, I give them the work, I give them the spiritual knowledge that they need from spirit world, and I give them the readings and the spiritual counselling. But after that, there's always something else that opens up that they need to do, and that it seems that it always links to Belle, my wife, who has that ability to fulfill their needs through magic. And it is about intention, and it is about how we think and feel within our hearts, our heart chakra and our third eye and our crown chakra. It all is huge. Those 3 chakras are huge significance to a witch. That's what I feel.
So keep it facing there. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply the oil to the guy's face. I'm done with writing her name on there. I'm putting the oil on his face, and I'm like having her energy be in my presence. I'm thinking of what she wants and what I would want if I was in this position. And the first thing I'm going to do to his face before I go back is I'm going to add saltpeter to his face. Now, saltpeter is used for many different things. It's used to keep women close to their partner from straying. It's also great used in exorcism and other purification rituals. So that's the first thing I put on his face. Aside from I put the oil, the Come To Me oil, which I have already shared with you guys. I have put the saltpeter on there. Now the next thing I'm going to put on his face before I put her on top, I'm going to put angelica root. And angelica root is used a lot. I use it a lot in many other things and other oils. But right now, the purpose that I'm using is for protection, healing, and uncrossing. Okay, so I'm using, and it's also great to return the loss of a loved one. So that's on his face. The next thing I'm going to place on his face, it's calamus root. And I'll show you what they look like as soon as I can show you the what I'm going to be doing. It's for healing, luck, money, protection, prosperity, and strengthening binding spells. So I'm strengthening this binding spell. One of the last herbs I'm going to be using is orris. And orris, the purpose of orris, it's got a feminine energy, and it's associated with Venus and water. And Venus, as we all know, is associated with love. Now, that's it. Now I'm going to place her picture on top. I'm going to just get something. Okay, here we go. I have my ribbon right here. And my husband will probably assist me in a minute. Let me just get a knife to cut the ribbon. And the ribbon that I'm using is red. So now, you can face it down, babe. Face it down this way if you want. Now what I'm going to begin to do is I'm going to begin to bind their love, and I'm going to think of the intention that I want to happen. The cinnamon sticks are now in there along with the pictures, and I'm binding them up and I'm bringing it into me because I want that love to come, because this woman has been through so much with him. She deserves to have her husband with her. And I do my enchanting in my head, and I will say other words afterwards. And not one, not two, and not 3 times to bind it well.
Well, she's obviously tying that and locking in that ribbon all the way around, binding it together.
And my intention, remember guys, if you don't have all this stuff, it's okay. If you just have cinnamon, that's fine. I do add my own.
I'd like to add actually that you would believe, I think you'd agree with this, that you have to tie it tight. Yes. You don't want to do anything loose. It has to be strong, so you know you're clutching that together, aren't you? And giving.
I'm putting my intention into this now.
There's a bit of your love there, isn't there?
Yes, it is. I think of what I would expect in my relationship and what I would want for my husband. And I love these girls. I love my clients. All of my clients that contact me, I really do try to do my best to like appease them and give them what they need and what they want. So, and I will work with my clients until they get what they want. So that's one thing. I also do payment plans, and that's one thing that I know a lot of people do not offer. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my jar. I'm going to place it into, and I'm going to, I've already cleansed it with Florida water. Right, it's always good to cleanse. I'm also going to like now put the incense on it, right? You want to purify your, and it's in there now. Okay, I'm going to place my pictures in there now. Now the fun part starts. I'm going to add a little bit of my oil again. I'm going to add basil leaves because basil leaves are great for love and they're also great for money. Okay, I'm going to add vanilla. That's just what I want to do.
Sweet and loving.
It's sweet loving, right? I'm going to add cherry vodka. Okay, you can add vanilla, whatever you want. Something. I want to have him drunk in her love. I want him to be drunk in her love.
Completely controlled, isn't it?
Yes, it's fantastic. I'm going to add agave. Now, a lot of people use honey. The thing is with honey, it's very slow. And if you notice, look at the agave. Agave flows faster and it's just as sweet, if not better than honey. And I'm leaving a space open there for a reason. I will explain to you why. Okay, let me see if I have all of my ingredients in here. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna put a little bit more saltpeter in here, as you can see, saltpeter to make it fast. Also, when you place saltpeter in your workings, it kind of like increases. It goes faster. Now, this is the orris root that I was talking about. Okay, this is the feminine calling. I'm gonna continue to put that in there. This is the calamus root. And then the angelica roots, I'm going to put all that in there. Now, on the top of this, I'm going to place a selenite stone. Now, selenite will dissolve because it dissolves in liquids, but it's okay because I want that protection, that intensity to be in there. Now, if you don't have selenite, you can use rose quartz also and place it in there. Okay, we're almost done with this spell. Now, I'm going to give this to my client, and she's going to also burn a tea candle every day for 7 days. When that is done, she can keep it in her closet, or she can bury it in a garden or in her tree in her house, okay? No dry gardens, no dry things or anything like that. You want to keep it on.
A question for you. So she lights the tea candle on the top of the jar?
Yes.
Okay.
She puts it on the top of the jar, but the reason I left it open, like I said with this one, is because when I give this to her, she's going to go home and she's going to urinate into it. She's going to add her hair and his hair. Now, let's say you cannot get his hair. If he smokes a cigarette, throw his cigarette butt in there with your hair. For sure, put your hair in there. Now, the intention is already started in here. It's already started, so if you can't get anything of his, you can get a straw. You can get something with a spit. You can get, I mean, if you really want it and you need to get it, a t-shirt, a piece of dirty underwear, put it in there, some of his DNA. If you can't, just with your hair and your intention, it'll be strong enough. So I'm sealing it. This is for my first client, and I'm going to put her initial on top because I'm going to do another one in a minute, and my husband's going to help me. And that's it, guys. For 7 days, we're going to be placing our tea candle up here, lighting it, burning it. 7 days, 7 represents love for me. Now, if you don't want to do it like this, it's totally up to you. Everybody does it differently, and it's on your intention, okay? It's your intention, it's your spell work, and there it is. It's a beautiful jar. I actually have mine, and my husband knows I have ours to protect our love. So even if you are a happy couple, it's always good to protect your marriage.
It seals that.
It seals the marriage. It protects the marriage. There's so many things out there. Stress, even if it's not an affair, stress can affect a lot of people's marriages. Marriages are broken up because of money. Marriages are broken up because of arguments or jealousy or whatever. It doesn't have to be a situation of infidelity. So I suggest, even if your husband and yourself are happy, do things like this to bind your loves together.
And it's okay. It's okay to have a rocky situation. You're obviously learning and going through things, but that's when this type of work can be put in anyway. Things may not be bad with you and husband or the wife, because there are male people watching as well in this who may want to do the same. I feel that we just bind it a little bit more. We make it stronger. We do this work when it's absolutely necessary. Even if it's just about disagreements, this can kind of change that way of thinking. You know, it's strengthening things.
Libido as well.
Yeah, it's not because people can't grasp it without the magic. It's just because we're tired of waiting sometimes for people. It's not that we lose our faith in them. It's just we have to do these things because we're not going to waste our life waiting and hoping that they will ever learn the lesson and be the person we want them to be. So we're thank ourselves and bless that this work that it exists, and we have the ability to work as a channel to be what we are. And Belle, I am really proud and happy that she has the ability to fulfill the needs of others. But it takes time. There's a lot of people that aren't patient, and you must be patient in this process.
Now remember, guys, just because you do it this one time, and let's say it's been a month or two and you're still not receiving what you're getting, sometimes you may have to do it again next month. Okay? One candle sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes it takes less than one candle. Sometimes it takes 3 months, 4 months. If you really want it and you continue doing it, you will achieve what you want. Don't assume that just because you light a candle, you're going to wave a magic wand and boom, you're going to get it. No, sometimes it takes a lot of work. All right, the universe, it's not going to be that easy. They make you work for it if you really want it.
And in both sides of our work, she will say that in her work, and I will say it in mine. You have to go through, as we teach meditation and healing and development psychically, we must believe that what we put out positively comes back to us in a double, tenfold from the universe. We must be careful what we wish for at times. That negativity, it will come back to us. We think we're throwing it at someone else and we're not reversing it and protecting ourselves. We must protect ourselves if we're sending hate or negative things out or love to someone else. The love's fine coming back to you, but if you send something negative out, it is going to come back to you if you don't do things properly.
I'm continuing with the next spell, and because I have two girls coming together and I'm preparing them together, as Michael was saying, I'm doing the same thing on this guy again. Now, if it's the female that you want to bring to you, do the same thing. The only thing that I do always tell my clients all the time is if you're going to do something like this, make sure you're going to bind the right person. You don't want to be bounded to somebody that is a jerk off or an asshole or a bitch or a cunt, and you're going to be stuck with that person. Remember, you do something and it can warp things out. Make sure you know the person first. Make sure that's the kind of person you're going to want in your life. Okay?
And this is exactly the second client with a similar situation. It's very weird how friends have similar situations, that these clients know of each other and they're in similar situations. Like attracts like. They're good people, but their circumstances are similar as well. And she's doing exactly the same method as the first one. Putting the pictures together with all of the ingredients in the middle.
Now I'm putting in my secret ingredient, which I will not reveal because this is mine, and I did my work. I expect you guys to do your work. If you want something done, I expect you guys to do your work as well. You got to research. Remember, don't believe everything that's out there on YouTube or on Facebook. A lot of people are being misled and just being tricked.
Remember, the internet and YouTube, everything's edited. It is there. Remember, it is someone's opinion and point of view. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. We must decide and ask Spirit whether that particular person we're listening to knowledge or reading about their opinion is the right person, because if they're not, we must look to Spirit for that support or ask within ourselves. It is merely just an opinion. It isn't a fact. Scientifically, things are facts, but when it comes to the work, it is someone else's way because it works for them. It may work wonderfully, but we must tread carefully.
I'm once again smudging my little jar like I did with the other one again in the incense to cleanse my jar that I'm using, placing my hand and my energy on top. I'm placing the pictures in and more saltpeter and placing more or my oil. My Come To Me oil, please look for it and share it, please. I'm placing my secret ingredient in here along with all of the other herbs that I used, which was the Angelica, the Calamus, and the Orris. And I'm thinking of what I would want in my marriage. These girls deserve a lot more. They are wonderful girls, and they love these partners that they have. They just want, one of them wants one to come back, one wants to really affirm their love, which is fantastic. That's what I do. And my husband knows that I do it with our love all the time. And that's something that married couples should do, because there's always, like I said, something or someone that may come and get in the way of that.
But it's not just that. It's binding me to the work that you do in a good way for me to learn about that. That is she needs that, even though she's strong there on her own, she needs that strength from herself. And as much as she listens and learns so much from myself in my work, I must do the same. And it isn't just about listening, it is participating as well. That is what she must see me do. Through the magic, she would put that intention about me I want my husband to participate. 2, I want him to listen more about it. 3, I want him to have a very fair opinion with me. And 4, I want him to, at some point, through many things, agree with me on many situations. So there's 4 things that are very important that we all want within our relationship. Especially when you're a witch, you want that partner who can support you. It's very important. We all have different opinions and views, and it's very important that we just follow them carefully and understand each other, understand our partners, and them understand us. So she's done the same with the jar. She's sealed it now. She's going to put the second client's initial on the front.
On the top, so I will show
you
you
on the top
now.
of the lid.
So see, I have done this. This is prepared. I'm sorry for the mess here. It's prepared. Now, the thing they're going to put in is their hair, both partner hair. If you cannot get their hair, you can use their nail clippings. Like I said, if they smoke cigarettes, you can see our beer bottles up there. If they smoke cigarettes, their butts, that's fantastic. It's just one of the best things to do. They do that in hoodoo tradition. So cigarette butts are great. So I'm going to give them this. They're going to urinate in here. And you can also use menstrual blood if you really want to get down and dirty, all right? So you'd actually, like, women know how to get their menstrual blood in here. You would do that in here, okay, ladies? I'm going to give my client this along with their little candles. Right here. Okay, so if you guys need any assistance, if you don't think you can actually, like, do the spell yourself, I'm here for you. My husband and I do. He does a lot of spirit medium readings, and he's fantastic for that.
And the counseling and
counseling, Reiki,
spiritual healing and Reiki healing, yes. 2 different ones.
Yes, so all that stuff, we do readings. So if you want to get in contact with us, look for us on Facebook. I have a page, To Love a Witch.
But one important thing that you're doing is you're healing their situation. You're just fitting some pieces together. The mosaic that's kind of not finished, she's just fitting those last pieces to the ground, and that is what she's doing, spiritually healing in her own way. Whether it's with her hands, it's with her mind, and she's channeling that energy from a spiritual guide that is very, very advanced as a witch in spirit, and I believe that's with her, and she could not be possible without that energy around her and the intention, because she knows she's being guided by some other wonderful witch, and more than one actually in spirit world.
I'm missing one.
So now she's taken a Ziploc bag full of it's a pepper.
It's an habanero pepper.
Yeah, and
you usually
the tea tree candles.
You may think it's bad, but no. You use an habanero pepper. If you could get 3, fantastic. But use an habanero pepper when it's a really tough situation, even if it's in love or prosperity. Okay, that's just a tip I'm giving you right now. So go ahead and face it to you. I'm going to just close off, and I'll let Michael close off the...
Well, obviously, I don't have any much more to say if your marriage is going great or boyfriend and girlfriend relationship is going great, but there's something that needs to be fulfilled. It's still okay to do this type of thing. There's certain things I'm not listening about, and there's certain things that Belle isn't doing, but I know that it's that strength as one to be tough and strong. And this type of work is good for both of us. If she has to do this work on us, it binds that love. You know, with Belle, she's doing everything that she possibly could do with myself. If I'm not listening, it's time to do that and participate and be that apprentice for her. She's wrapped up. Is there anything else you want to say, Belle?
All I want to say is, like, please share and like our videos, and please follow my husband also. Find him on YouTube, on Facebook under Mike Reedy, and also you have...
there isn't anything else. There really isn't.
Okay,
I don't boast about
if you guys need readings, and he's a fantastic medium. He's one of the best I've ever seen, if not the best. He connects with spirit. I do it by tarot. But if you need a reading, please message me, and we will get back to you, even if it's private emailing. All right. I love you guys. Please share and like, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. There's going to be follow-up videos as soon as I'm going to leave for the moment, and I'll be back, and I'm sending out more, all right? Much love, much blessings. Bye.